works better. Mining productivity is 180%. I don't know what the next level, I don't know what you get from each one. %. Okay. Which, by the way, how is that doing? Looks like they're mostly working. What don't you have enough of? Purple. And purple doesn't have enough of, and you don't have enough of steel. So if I want to increase that performance, I'll have to get more steel on these belts. Do I have enough steel coming in? Yep. Well, not really. There's only 100 in there. So, no, not really. Also, stupid things. What I would need to do is put another of these down. Just sort of hack that up. But, future problem. So, now that I know a bit about the scope of the problem, how am I going to deal with it? I essentially have to tell myself that before I build any expansion, I need to calculate the ore that I'm going to bring in. And I know now that my ore is going to bring in a certain amount per. And I'm okay with that. So I need to get 318. Might as well start here. So this needs to be split into two, and I've got to find a way to get a second iron in here. Probably going to involve a lot of moving. How do I get it? How do I get a second train in here without having to refactor everything? And I got to get a second copper in here. Well, for one, I got to get it here. And two, I got to get it here. Because now that I've looked at it, what is this? This is 16. Double the belts there, going to increase this, put another one online. I've got this relatively unique layout. It's going to need a lot of belting. Really rather not have to pick up all of these full chests of 4,000 iron plate each. I also don't want to blow them all up. Although at the end of the day, they're probably not worth saving. I mean, $48 times 4,000 is 192,000. Takes it about a minute. Takes about 50 seconds for a train in this configuration with this inserter size to load. I could put this one here, just put a T-junction right there. That's pretty straightforward. I like that idea. Obviously, I can't do that with this setup, but I could move this over here. Change all those miners to go over there. Run my belts down here and up here. Move this over that way, put another one right there. And then with this, I could rearrange this to have this go through, just have a small shunt go off that way. Have the other one go right here. So I could go like here and here. Roughly. And I could go here. You've already got two. I just need you to get taller. Ah, this one's a bit of a problem. I don't have to landfill that. So I'll have to do something there. Like that. Or not. I might just landfill the whole thing. Not that much landfill. I don't like landfilling my coastlines. I worked really hard for an Earth representation. So what I'll probably have to do is delete one of these. Put this back to full. And then put another iron facility here, even though that's compromised. Delete this, put another iron facility here. Let's go back and look at our copper requirements. Copper cable there is 27. And 8. I seem to have lost something here, but I guess I went back too far and I rolled things off. Or not. Eh? I don't know why I thought I needed so much copper cable. So I need about 35 copper cable. That's 32, so I just need 2 of these, so I don't really need either one of these. I mean, I'll need it eventually, so I might as well leave one of them. I need more water. I'll be back in a bit. Yeah, I need more water. I'll be back in a minute. Goblin, that's a stacker. I've got stackers for all of these. They all have stackers set up. Still, it's the bulk processing that needs to happen. Thank you. Okay. Well. Well, that's not what I wanted to have happen there, but whatever. We are going to send some trains down so that we can get some mining and smelting going on. Meow meow. Hi, kitty cat. We are going to be adding 72 furnaces here. Plus, for each of these, we're going to be adding another 8. And we're going to be taking away a bunch of belt. So I'll just bring 2 stacks of furnaces on me, and I won't bother to bring this train. We're not going to be doing any pipe work, but we're going to have a lot of need for space. So get rid of all that. I am going to set up a new station, so I'll need those. I haven't used any purple inserters in a long time. Alright, so you're going to have my miners, which I need. But for now, I'm only setting up one mining outpost. Am I even setting up a mining outpost right now? No, I'll do it later. First, I need to refactor these. So Goblin, I don't know if you're still here, but I have a stacker for these things right here. I have a 8-spot stacker for iron plate to be loaded, and it feeds both of these stations. So on the smaller ones, when they're not so together, I have just a 4-spot stacker. But I am going to need lots of belt, so we're going to send the Lycum train down here. And I'm going to send the scrap train, because I suspect I'm going to need it, because I'm going to be ripping stuff out. Yeah, they're weird looking stackers. They're inline stackers, as I call them. Alright, I'm going to send King Fnerb's train down here too. Because I might need it. Not really sure. And we are going to need Zoe's train. Because we're going to be putting down a lot of modules. And we're going to hop in this teleporter and go down there and get to work. Bots are off. So we are essentially going to be ripping this out, turning it sideways, and putting it back down. Don't want that built right now, thank you. I need to be configured for power. Gonna be out of space soon. Gonna have to start putting down trash chests. What's the most device? What's the most expensive item in the game? Well, it's probably the rocket silo. 1,000 steel, 200 processing units, 200 electric units, and 1,000 concrete. Those are all really expensive. Nuclear reactor isn't as expensive, but you're going to make at least 4 of them per nuclear outpost. So, you know. Well, the most complex is the satellite. To make a satellite, you need 6 items. Processing units, low-density structures, rocket fuel, solar panel, accumulator, and radar. Radar is pretty easy, but it's hard to make it speed because beacon modules, you can't feed a radar assembler fast enough, but you don't need that many. You only need 5 for a satellite. But 100 accumulators and 100 solar panels is pretty expensive. The batteries are expensive. Rocket fuel is expensive. Low density structures are stupid expensive. And processing units are pretty expensive. Spoodertrons are kind of complex. They take 6. And again, radars and LDS and rocket control units, and of course the non-renewable, partially non-renewable fish and the fusion reactors, etc. So those are the upper end. But there are also things you don't make in bulk, right? And low density or rocket control units are apparently going away in 2.0 in space age, but who knows? Yeah, you can automate fish by putting science in a rocket. Because one of the things is that fish are generated at the beginning of the game, and that's it. You don't get more fish. But if you send space science to space in a rocket, it will return fish, which they added when they added Spidertron. Because if you're playing on a map that has, like, for example, no water or no large water, other than water at your spawn area, you need a way to be able to get fish. So they did a great thing there. They made it so that you can't actually run out of the things you need to do infinite science, or to do, what you want to do if you want to build an army of Spidertrons. Because trees and fish are static. Now, they did not give you a way to grow trees, which I think is an oversight. But there's not a whole lot that can be done there. The mods that do use trees as part of their core, they have greenhouses, so I expect 2.0 is going to have a greenhouse. And I've seen nothing to indicate that. I'm just speculating. But why wouldn't it? Wood's a resource in the game. You need it. Thanks. I only use spiders for combat and for map exploration. I find them way too tedious to use them as builders. I mean, I can see the idea of using them for landfill, like Mucky does. Even Stardew Valley has a greenhouse. Yes, it does. Actually, I think this whole thing's got to go away, so this needs to get broken. And then you need to go... Well, you need to go away. I think you'll fit in here. Will the 383 train fit in there? No, it won't. How short is it? If this went all the way there, would it fit? Not quite. Interesting. I gotta find a place to turn this train around. Logistics. Yeah, it's a Factorio is at the end of the day. It's a hybrid logistics and engineering game. Don't you be building that stuff, you little demon spawns. Once you get your factory built, the game becomes a logistics puzzle. How do you supply it? Which is where I am. Alright, I'm past the engineering phase. I'm into the logistics phase. Which is a bit of a problem for me, because I can't feed this factory fast enough to satisfy what I'm trying to do with it. The steepness in the learning curve comes at blue science. And the people at Woob have even documented that the difficulty complexity goes up. Yeah, solid fuel is something I switched to, but I can see that if you don't have coal, then plastic's going to be a challenge. Yeah, flamer turrets. I used to have problems with biters until Mucky showed me flamer turrets. Once you get flamer turrets set up on your defenses, biters are not a challenge in any way, shape, or form. You can defend pretty much any base with flamer turrets and certainly lasers, but even ammo, red ammo. Hey. I'm probably going to need to make instead of this, what I should do is just make a storage place. Yeah, I will use elevated rails for intersections pretty much. I won't use it for these things because they're not high volume. Elevated rails are going to be good for high volume situations. The outlining when going on with trains is a mod called Train Trails. If you hit exclamation point mods, you'll get a document that takes you lists all the mods, and we'll show you the link on the mod portal. But it's just something colorful. Now the other one, there's another line there which is showing rail paths, which is a debug setting that you can, or a setting you can turn on the game. Show rail paths. You hit F4, make sure it's on player and always. And the mod that makes you see that is called Train Saver. Yeah, it would be nice if there were a heat map. I commented on that not too long ago, as a matter of fact, that Factorio 2.0 needs a heat map for things, for rail traffic. How do I not have any of these? I thought I had them. This is a stacker. It's a storage, actually. I anticipate with the restructuring I'm doing, I'm going to have quite a few trains that are going to get shoved off to the side for a little while. So I need to put a bunch of trains in manual mode so they don't start moving. Really need to dump my inventory out here. That's bad. Still not sure what I'm going to do about all these chests. I am seriously considering just blowing them up. If they're not in my way, I'm going to leave them alone. But I don't have any interest in migrating them. Bad as it is, all these furnaces already have 100 items in them. And that's gonna suck to pick up. Alright, well, let's start picking this up. Yeah, we're not going to see much creative layout work this stream, that's for sure. I'm solving problems that I should have solved before I got started. But didn't really realize I was going to have that problem, so... Should have, though. Just a cursory glance at rate calculator should have told me that I was not going to have enough furnaces. Where is my... There it is. Idiot controller. There's my idiot. And this is its controller. I love how they can walk over water. That is probably their best feature. Thought I'd picked up all this iron plate. Apparently not. Well, I use a mod called Beautiful Bridges, which lets me cross oceans by using bridges. Give me 1 second, I'll show you what I did for jolly old England. Before Beautiful Bridges, I used to landfill between large land masses. There is also a mod called Cargo Ships, which is fantastic. It lets you do that too. So Beautiful Bridges lets you do this. There's no landfill underneath. There's landfill under the power poles, although there is a mod that gives you power poles that you can build on water. So I put my rocket silo in England. So hopefully that answers your question. Cargo ships is how I did it. I did a world mod not too long ago because I have the entire world. This is just what I call old world, which is Europe, China, Russia, Africa, and Australia. I have another version of this mod. The mod is called Cities of Earth 3. I wrote it based on the work of a guy named the Adler, who used a satellite image of Earth to generate a map in Factorio, and then on chunk generated overrode that event. When that event happens, it uses the data from the mod instead of the real stuff. I've added scenarios